Cool, man. Well, Don, I'm excited to talk to you about your new graphic novel that I think my daughter is going to absolutely love.
Oh, cool, man.
Before we get into all of that, here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passion. Where did your passion for comic books kind of come from that made you want to get into the business? You know, was a certain artist or a certain writer inspired, or something that was just natural for you as a child?
I grew up reading comics, man. I think as a latchkey kid, it was a big part of my life. I used to borrow money from my mom's purse and go buy like Ghost Rider or whatever. I grew up when comic books were at 7-Eleven in the grocery store and everywhere. I was kind of blessed that way. Now you have to kind of go to a comic shop. But yeah, I just grew up reading I think I loved Ghost Rider. And when I was a kid, I collected comics. So I read them as a boy and trashed them. And then I started collecting them when I got a little older. And we'd go to these auctions. My mom and my grandparents were into antiques. So we go to these antique auctions, and some of these antique auctions, actually, they were auctioning off old comic books. So, but I couldn't like choose what I got. So sometimes she would have bought like a bunch of Fantastic Four for like $20 or something, would bring them back. And I would kind of build out my collection that way. So I have a lot of like Flash and Fantastic Four and things that we got back then. But
Yeah.
so I have a lot of affection for the Fantastic Four too. I have a ton of those.
I love that. So it's interesting because I mean, when I grew up, I remember always buying comics at the like grocery store, and there's this news stand we used to always go to. What I wonder when it transitioned to like straight to more comic shops. I guess in the '90s, I assume, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm also partners in a comic book company, and I think those guys would know a lot about it. But I know that Diamond Distributors became the sole distributor, and they distributed directly to the direct market. And I think once there was like a distribution wars in the '80s or '90s between like there was like 5 or 6 companies, and it just became one company, Diamond. That recently changed with COVID. Now Diamond's not the sole distributor, but there's a lot of weird stuff that happened. I don't know why they're not at newsstands anymore. That was one of the greatest things, to be able to go to a newsstand and just grab a comic, to get it back.
Well, cool. Let's get into this new graphic novel you got coming out. It's December 7th. How do you pronounce it? It looks like Unicorn or
Unicorn. Yeah,
Unicorn with the K instead. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 8-year-old daughter is obsessed with unicorns, so I think she'll really love this. So tell us the whole backstory of this.
That's the target audience, man. I had been doing, I did a movie called The Founder and Knightfall. You can see in the back. I mean, The Founder would probably put my kids to sleep, and Knightfall would probably give them nightmares. So I was like, when I had kids, I started to change how I thought about entertainment and what I did, and I wanted to do stuff that was for them. When I grew up, the live action kids movies were directed by the best directors in the world. It was Spielberg, Zemeckis, Donner. I wanted to do a graphic novel that reminded me of like the classic books I grew up with, whether it was Watership Down or Charlotte's Web, or that could also be reminiscent of the movies like E.T. and stuff that I grew up with that, I enjoyed as a kid, that I wanted to share with my kids. I also had a daughter, and when you have a son and you go to comic book conventions, which I do, very easy to shop for. There's Deadpool, Batman. You just you can't turn a corner without finding something cool for them.
Absolutely. I got a son too, so I know.
So man. And then with my daughter, I'd be like, well, I mean, now she's into anime and stuff like that, so it's a lot easier. But when she was younger, when she was about 7 or 8, really hard, man. There's not a lot of stuff there for him. So I wanted to, Josh and I, who also has kids and a little girl, we wanted to create something that was kind of a hero, but for them, like if you were to make a Marvel movie for them. But the basic premise is, and making Unicorn sort of grounded. I went to a farm in rural Pennsylvania. My mom lives in rural Pennsylvania, and we went to visit this woman who had like llamas and peacocks and just a bunch of dogs, like a real eclectic collection. I was with my kids.
Nice.
And I just thought, like, what if all these animals were really like magic animals, and they were in just just sort of hiding there. And that was kind of the initial kernel of the idea. And one of them had the horse had a fly bonnet on its head, where it kind of covers their forehead.
Yeah.
And so I just thought, like, what if underneath that fly bonnet was a bump that used to be a horn, and that kind of started it off. So Unicorn with a K, you see the spelling's different. Mm-hmm. In our mythology, is a unicorn that has had its horn taken off. So so what happens in the book is that she finds this horse, has a weird bump on its head. She thinks it's a unicorn, and finally other people find it or want to come after it because it has, they have much like a a rhino or an elephant would be hunted for its ivory, and conservationists will cut their horns off. It's the same thing here with unicorns. And there's an antagonist who comes in who wants to sort of harm the animal, and she has to protect it. So it's got a little bit of action too.
Oh, I love that. What you said in Pennsylvania, right? I grew up in Maryland. I assume you grew up there too, right? Or
Oh, I actually grew up in Northern Virginia, right outside DC. So
okay.
that's my hometown. I grew up in Reston, Virginia. I went to Herndon
Oh
High.
yeah.
Yeah. Where in Maryland you grow up? What
Savannah
part?
Park, yeah. But then I went to
Oh
school
yeah, I know
at
Savannah Park.
American
Yeah.
University. So
Oh yeah, I know American downtown. Yeah, so we're probably in the same area. Yeah, like the Fifth Column and the Vault and all those places downtown, right by you.
yeah.
Anastasia's or whatever. That's cool. Where are you based now?
I'm in Orlando now, but I just moved
Oh,
here.
Orlando.
I was in California, so
Oh, cool, man.
so
That's
in
cool.
North Hollywood, then Fountain Valley down in Orange County. So
Oh,
it's nice
nice.
to switch to
Okay,
Orange
cool,
County.
man. Yeah, the different Orange County. It's funny. My stepsister and stepbrother went to Fairfax High, and I live right in Virginia, and I live right by Fairfax High in
Oh,
LA. So there's a parallel. That's cool,
yeah.
man.
I still love going to concerts at the Patriot Center in Fairfax.
Yeah, dude, me too, man. I went to a bunch of concerts there. Like, yeah, I got to see. That's a great place to grow up, dude. I really loved where we're from, man. Really a nice area.
Very cool. Well, so speaking of movies and all this stuff, this graphic novel is not even out yet. It's already being adapted to as a movie already. That's amazing.
Yeah, there's a company. Yeah, we got this a woman who's a very talented individual named Debbie Berman, who was the editor of Black Panther, Captain Marvel, and Spider-Man: Homecoming, who's making her directorial debut. So she's brilliant. And was we've been developing the script with her for a while. I mean, it takes a while when you finish a book. The time to get it published takes a while, and we had been able to share it with people in between. And Josh and I, both being screenwriters, started writing a screenplay based on the book early on, and been getting a lot of great feedback from her as a director. And yeah, we're casting it and putting it together and hoping to shoot it next year. So
is it? I assume this would be like a live action then, or
yeah, live action. We want to do
cool.
like old school live action film. Yeah. The animated films for kids are amazing. Like as you know, as a parent, like the Pixar movies can't be beat. The live action movies, we need help. We need to bring some good live action films into
absolutely. And like
space.
I said, my daughter would love obviously the graphic novel, but the movie would be amazing.
Cool. Yeah, man. Well, I'd love to get, I'll send you a copy, send me your address so I can get it and have your daughter read it. I'd love to get
well, yeah, like I said, the graphic novel comes out December 7th through Scout Comics and Scoot, and 200 pages. That's pretty amazing. And anything else coming up that you're allowed to talk about before I let you go?
I gotta, I sold a show to Paramount Plus, but I can't talk about that yet. That's as a writer. But I have another book, another kid's book I'm writing with my daughter that I'll be announcing in January. Not launching, it's another sort of long book that's going to take a while, but that one I'm really excited about. And I just, finishing, I have another comic series that I wrote based on, I wrote with a partner named Anna Davis, based on an idea by Andy Serkis and Andrew Levitas. Andy Serkis directed Venom 2, and it's called Eternus. The Ash Can launched in New York. It's 7-issue series. It's scripted. It's just being drawn right now, and they've Ash Can launched already. The issue 1 I think launches in March or April. So.
Cool. Are you on social media so we can follow you? So when you're able to talk about like a plus thing or anything, or
I am. Yeah, I'm not great at social media, but I'm now starting to, I guess try to get better at it. But I have my Instagram is at Donny Inc. DonnyINK. And yeah, I'll try to keep people posted. I got to get better at posting this stuff. But you can also follow.
You're busy,
Yeah, well, it's not busy. It's just not. I think it's just. I'm still, I do Facebook to catch up with friends. I need to get better at the other sides of social media. But at Scout Comics we'll always have information. I'm a partner at Scout Comics too, as people may know. I'm also one of the founders of the Script to Comic contest, which is a contest we started during COVID, when all the film and TV productions I was working on stopped cold, and all the comic books I was doing kept rolling along in production because artists live at home and work at home anyway, pretty much. So we started the contest for screenwriters who wanted to get their work produced as a comic book. We did the first year in 2020. We had the grand prize winner, She Bites, just launched at New York Comic Con. Charm City, that won first prize, just launched at the San Diego Comic Con. And we're about to announce winners for 2021 on Tuesday.
Oh,
So,
that's so amazing. Very cool.
yeah, and there's info for that at scriptocomic.com. So if anyone out there wants to make comic books, I mean, I can, as someone who's written for TV and for film and comics, I can say there's no better creative experience than making a comic book. It's
Absolutely.
so pure and direct, and it's my favorite thing to write.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me, and keep up the amazing work. All right.
Oh, dude, thanks for having me, man. And please let me know where to send a copy of Unikorn for you, man. Awesome. And Scout is in Fort Myers, man. So you should try to jump down to the HQ. It's not that far for you. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I was going to go down to Miami for their big art festival this weekend, but then my son's Saturday. So.
That's cool. How old's your son?
He's about to turn 5. So.
Oh, nice, man. It's so great, dude. You got the same thing I do. Older daughter, younger son. It's so amazing, dude. You're gonna really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Cool.
No.
Dude, thanks so much for having me, man. Really wish you the best, and appreciate you getting the word out.